Would you like to hear a story? Excellent. So would I. I am the story seeker, traveling to the four corners of the world and through the wheel of time. I seek out the stories that remind us who we are and encourage us to become whom we are meant to be. I invite you to settle in, put your listening ears on, and let your imagination reawaken as I tell you a story.
Everyone has a story of that moment that defines them. That one piece that they hold on to as their bright moment for the rest of their lives. I am the mom who chased the bear out of Boy Scout camp. Now, this was going to be my fire and light story, because as I see it, every single person is surrounded by a circle of fire. And that fire represents the things that they are afraid of, that they have to face every day. And we know that we might get hurt if we dare to approach or cross that line. And we can't see into the unknown darkness beyond it. But for those few brave enough, courageous enough to brave the fire and step through, they might find themselves standing in the light that reveals who they are, having passed through that refining moment. Step back a moment. My son has Asperger Syndrome, kind of high-functioning autism. If you were to meet him, you wouldn't automatically know anything was wrong. Maybe just, he's a little odd. Can't put my finger on it, but I like him, is what we hear from most of the grown-ups. The kids, he's weird. Now, kids with Asperger's have a really difficult time navigating social situations, understanding the nuances of language. They take things very, very literally. My favorite story that outlines this, Alex is very young. We are in an apartment at the time with one bathroom. And you know that moment when you flush the toilet and the water starts coming up instead of down? Well, I must have shouted something because all of a sudden Alex comes running in. Mom, what's the matter? And I'm poised with the plunger over the bowl. And I shout at him, Alex, run for cover! And being the obedient and helpful child that he is, he immediately runs from the room, to return 30 seconds later with all of the blankets from his bed. Mom, I got the covers! You cannot turn a child like this loose in junior high, because the other children will eat him alive. But we had him in Boy Scouts. And Boy Scouts is a great place for kids like this. There's rules to follow. It's, that's regimented. They're supposed to be following a code of conduct. And I like it because my son has such a difficult time with other Boy Scouts. I get to be a Boy Scout too. I have to shadow him on every single outing. So I've gone camping. I have slept in the snow cave that we made ourselves. Worst night's sleep of my life. That includes 24 hours of labor, where at least I had a bed and a catheter. That's all I'm saying. This particular campout, our tent was set up on the outside of all of the pup tents and Cub Scouts and such of our group. And we were sharing a campground with other campers. So on the other side of us was a group of 20-somethings who'd come up for the weekend. We all say our good nights, tuck ourselves into our sleeping bags. Good night, Alex. Good night, Mom. I love you, Alex. I love you too, Mom. Thanks for coming. No problem. In the middle of the night, I am struggling against the ever-present parent pinecone that every parent's sleeping bag ends up on top of. So I'm not sleeping particularly well. And as I'm twisting and turning in the night, I begin to hear a noise. And for a while, you talk to yourself in the sleeping bag because you don't really want to leave it. Maybe it's a raccoon. I bet it's a raccoon. Fox, they have fox out here in Colorado. But after a while, there's this very distinct snuffling, dragging noise. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never heard a bear, but if I had to guess, here's the decision. Do you leave the sleeping bag and the semi-protective polyester coating? Or do you stay where you are? I'm a mom. My son is sleeping there, and I've got 15 other little scouts in the tents behind me. So I start getting up. My son starts coming awake, bleary-eyed next to me. What's going on? Shh. Put on your shoes. What? Shh. Put on your shoes. I can't. Why not? I'm not wearing any pants. He's 12 years old. He hadn't packed any jammy pants. Stay here. So I grab the lantern and the little mess kit dishes the scouts take with them. You know the little aluminum ones about 6 inches wide? You can't fit a burger on it. Zippers behind me. I unzip, step out of the tent, duly armed, come around, and the bear is right there. Right there. So I set the lantern down and I start banging those little dishes for all I'm worth. Go bear! Go bear! And the bear ran off. I was living in the moment there. I was the mom that chased the bear out of scout camp. Mom in the tent next to us wakes up. What's going on? There's a bear. Oh, yeah, she's freaking out. Now she's got to use the restroom. But she doesn't want to leave because there's a bear somewhere in the campground. I'm still running on adrenaline. No worries, I'll take you. We go walk into the restroom, and the bear has moved on to another campsite. So I chase it out of that one, too. When we get home, I'm walking on clouds. I am in the spotlight of heroism, and I share that story with anyone who will listen, as I continue to share it now. But I realized soon after that my son, with all the difficulties that he faces, going to school every day, going to scouts, being around people in what is almost listening to a foreign language and dealing with different cultures. My son faces the bear every single day. And in that moment, that heroism light lifted off of me and shone straight on him. Despite the difficulties that he goes through and the mistakes he makes, he is the bravest person I know, for he stands in that circle daily and he gets burned, but he continues to walk forward into the light. Thank you.
You doing?
Hello again. This is the Story Seeker. I hope you enjoyed that story. If If you'd like to hear more, subscribe to the podcast and visit me on the web at thestoryseeker.com. See you next time.